back of your mat, separating your feet slightly. Just allow your arms to relax, rolling your shoulders back and around a few times, and then letting your arms settle, maybe bending and straightening your knees a few times. Just feeling the joints around your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips. And then maybe doing just a little bit of a twist of the spine. Feeling all of the joints up around the spine, maybe around the shoulders. And then bring yourself back to the center. And taking a moment to just close your eyes. Let your breathing slow down. Just letting your body settle into the shape, allowing yourself to root into your feet, allowing your head to float upwards, and feeling that the rest of your body is suspended and at ease. And then taking a moment to turn your gaze inward and just noticing your energy this morning. Noticing how your energy feels. And if you could describe that feeling in one word, what would it be? Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Blink your eyes open, bring yourself back onto your mat, and let's come into a roll down. Taking a breath in as you expand. Exhale, nod your chin, and just allow yourself to peel forward slowly. Finding the weight of your arms, finding the weight of your head, softening your knees, and just allowing your body to melt over. Stay here for a moment. Notice where you might be feeling a little bit of a stretch this morning. Softening yourself a little bit more into the release. And then rolling back up into standing. Feeling the abdominals connect from the front, feeling the back of your body lifting you upright and coming all the way up and tall. Bringing both arms up. Inhale, feeling your ribs expand. Exhale, opening your arms and bringing them all the way down beside you. Take a moment to roll the shoulders back and around again. And then just settle here. Take a breath in, grow a little taller. Exhale, nod your chin, and let's move into our second roll down. Feeling the weight of your crown, the weight of your arms. And notice with the rounding of your spine, how your scapula naturally glide wide. And then just stay here, surrender into the stretch. Finding a little bit of softness through your joints. Take a breath. Exhale, back up you come. Rooting into your feet. Feeling the back of your body engage and to bring you all the way upright. Focus your gaze. Make sure you don't have a head rush. And one more time, we breathe in, reach up. Exhale, open your arms. Find a little bit of space for yourself. And last time to roll down, you take a breath in. Exhale, nod the chin, and we start to melt over. Finding that beautiful curve of the spine, the folding over of the hips, the softening of the knees. And once again, just allow yourself to relax here for a moment. And then bend your knees enough that you can put your hands flat to the ground and slowly walk yourself down onto all fours. And then place your wrists below shoulders. I just need to move back a little bit. And knees below hips. let's start to move into our cat stretch. Start tucking the tail, feeling the lift of the abdominals as you tuck your chin in and round your spine. Start lengthening your spine, reaching your tail back. And then you can either just come to neutral or you can come towards a little bit of extension of the spine. And again, using your breath, feeling the curl of the spine, pushing away from your hands. And then again, start lengthening. Moving towards a little bit of an arch. Make sure that your lower abs are still supporting you from underneath. And we're going to take 2 more. So it's a very similar rounding of the spine that we just did in our roll down. Moving towards extension, but the difference is we've changed our relationship to gravity. So you're going to feel now how much more the abdominals have to work, as opposed to when we were standing, and it was actually giving us a little bit more of a stretch. Lengthening, lifting the tail, lifting eye line, and then let yourself come back to a neutral position, and we stay here for a moment. Sliding the right leg back, hold it here, keeping the pelvis level. Start to walk the left fingertips forward and then stay here. And we're just going to hold it. And I want you to close your eyes and feel the connections to your core. So keep breathing. Become aware of your right hand connecting to the ground, your left knee and shin connecting to the ground, and then the diagonal line between those 2 points. So those would be your abdominals and your obliques. Open your eyes, and then sliding the left hand in, bringing the right knee in. Stretch the left leg back, keeping the tippy toes on the floor. Walk the right fingertips forward. And again, stay here for a moment. Closing your eyes. And as soon as you close your eyes and remove your external environment, you hopefully become much more aware of the connection to your center and how there's a constant adjustment and readjustment in order to keep your balance here. Feel your left hand and your right shin connecting to the ground. And then on your next breath, open eyes, bring your hand in, bring your knee in, and stay here for a moment. Now stretch your right leg back. Walk your left fingertips forward. Keep your eyes open this time. And on your next breath, lift up the arm and the leg and bring it down. Now, as you lift the arm and the leg, keep the shoulders and the pelvis square to the floor. So if that means you have to make it a smaller movement, then make it small. But what we're doing here is moving towards our first open chain exercise. We're lifting the limbs away from the ground, which is going to make it less stable. Let's do one more time. And bring it down, hold it, and then bring the hand and the knee all the way in. Take a moment to center yourself. Left leg back. Walk the right fingertips forward. And when you're ready, a little bit of a lift of the arm and leg. And lower it down. And keep going with a little lift and lower. Focusing on the alignment of your shoulders and your pelvis. And start to notice as you lift your hand and leg off the floor, going to that open chain, how much more you have to connect into your center to help yourself stabilize. And let's do one more time. And lower. And then bringing that hand and that knee in. One more little add-on here. Stretch the right leg back. Walk the left fingertips forward. And now this time, pick up the arm and the leg and stay here for a moment. Now you're going to round your spine like a cat and touch your elbow towards your knee. And then lengthen the spine, reach your foot back and your arm forward. And again, as you round the spine, feel the lift of your belly, lengthen, reach through your crown, fingertips and toes. And now what we're doing is staying in an open chain position. We're not allowing the hand and the foot to come down for that little reprieve in between. And stretch, stay here for a moment, and then bringing the hand and the knee in. One more time on the other side. Left leg back, right fingertips forward. When you're ready, lift them up. And then we round the spine, touch elbow to knee, and lengthen away. Elbow to knee, lifting through the abs, and lengthen away. And just start to notice on your own body, is one side easier for you? Oftentimes you've got a dominant side or a dominant sling pattern. Last one, here we go. And lengthen, hold it. Bring the hand and the knee in. Open your knees nice and wide, big toes together. Sit your hips back and then bring yourself into a resting position. So give yourself padding under knees, hips, head, wherever you need it. And see if you can walk your hands a little bit out. Maybe you can straighten the arms. Maybe you have to keep the elbows bent, it doesn't matter. And just getting a little bit of a stretch underneath the shoulders, along the sides of the body. And taking just a few seconds here to breathe. One more inhale and exhale. Reach your hands forward and then bring yourself up onto all fours, bringing the knees underneath you. We're going to tuck the toes under and we're about to hover our knees off the ground. So get yourself comfortable on your wrists. Start to push into the hands and the feet and see if you can lift your knees off the ground for any reason. If your wrists, your feet, or your lower back doesn't like this, then lower your knees to the ground and make any adjustments that you need. Make sure that you are breathing. Taking just a few more seconds here to lengthen through the crown of your head. Reach backwards through the tail. Take a breath in. And then lower the knees all the way down, relaxing the feet out. Now, once again, slip the right leg all the way back, picking up that leg, and you're going to step your foot to the outside of your right hand. So take a big step out. If you need to help yourself with your hand, then help yourself. And walk both hands up onto that knee. Now, if you need padding underneath the knee at the back, then put a cushion or a towel there. Lifting your body upright and just take a moment to focus your gaze. And then start moving your hips a little bit forward and a little bit backwards. And a little bit forwards, a little bit backwards. So what you might notice here as you move is that your legs are quite wide apart. So oftentimes this gives us a little bit more freedom around the hip flexor on that left side. Hopefully it gives us a nice stable base, but if you feel that you need to move your leg in, then please do so. Now we're going to come back just halfway, so you should feel that the line of your body is literally dropping through the center between your two knees, so you feel pretty centered here. Abdominals connected, your left hand starts to go up and down. Breathe in and breathe out. And again, breathe in and breathe out. Let's take two more. Inhale, feeling that release along the left line of fascia. One more time, inhale. And this time, exhale, stay here with the arm up overhead. And then start to reach a little bit over towards the right. So you're allowing your spine to bend slightly. Keep the abs connected. And then maybe let's do some little pulsing movements, like a trampolining over to the side and release. And release. Two more. One more. And release, coming all the way up. You're going to place that hand flat down. Put your right hand flat down. And then lean a little bit to the left and sweep that right leg all the way back. Bring that knee in and make any adjustments you need before we go to the left side. Stretch the left leg back, lift it up. Take a step to the outside of the left hand. Help yourself as much as you need. And then both hands come up to the knee. Remember the padding under the right knee if you need. Take a moment here to simply focus your gaze, get your spine upright, and to settle your neck and shoulders. And then just a little bit of release forwards and backwards. Small release. Taking just a few more, getting that opening along the right hip flexor. And then come into a place where you feel your body weight is in the center. There's minimal effort here to hold yourself. The right hand comes down and we inhale up. And exhale, release. And again, inhale up. And exhale, release. Two more times. Keeping the lower abs connected. One more time, reach up. And we're just going to stay here for a moment. Start to do a little bit of a lean over towards the left. And you can stay here or you can add some little pulses. So this is working on that elastic quality of the fascia. Keep breathing. One more. Come to center, hold it, and you're going to put that hand flat down onto the ground. Left hand beside it. Moving your body weight a little bit towards the side, and then sweep the left leg back. And bringing that knee all the way in. So, spread the fingers out, tuck your toes under again. You're going to lift your knees just up off the ground and start moving your shoulders backwards. So you're pushing away from your hands. Connect your thumb and forefinger to the ground. And then see if you can lift your hips halfway up. So your knees are still pretty bent, but you have a feeling of lengthening the spine and lengthening the elbows. And then pedal the heels down one at a time. You guys know how much I love this release. Getting that little bit of stretch through the soles of the feet, the Achilles, the calf muscles, wherever you feel it. And then push both heels down towards the ground. It doesn't matter if your knees are bent or straight. Now, what I'd like you to focus on here is balancing on your hands and just shifting your body weight to the left leg and just hover that right leg up. So we're again moving a little bit into an open chain position. And then put that right leg down, balance on your hands, and see if you can just hover the left leg up. Not a high lift. We're trying to keep our shoulders and our pelvis as level as possible. And then bringing that left leg down, picking up the right leg, not too high. And then you're going to bend the knee and bring your knee towards your nose. And stretch it back again. And again, knee towards nose. And reach it back. Let's do one more time. And stretch it back. And placing your foot down. Pick up the left leg, not too high. Knee to nose. And extend. And again. And reach just one more time. And stretch, placing it down. Stay for a moment. Feel the connections of all four limbs to the ground. Hands, feet, and then lower your knees down and releasing the feet back. So now you're going to balance on your right hand. Reach the left hand to the side, and let's come into our thread the needle. You guys know how much I love this. And just settle yourself into your rotation. If you need to put a pillow underneath your head, then go for that. And if you can, or if you choose, slide the right hand forward. So you start to increase that opening and release along the right side body. Staying here for just a few more moments. It doesn't matter what position your hips are in. Focus on that rotation of the upper spine and the release along the left side of the neck and the shoulders. Bringing your right hand back in. Up you come. And stretch your arm out to the side. Now stay here for a moment. We're moving towards open chain simply by taking the left arm to the side. You should feel that there's quite a strong connection into the right shoulder. And now, if you can, lift your right knee out to the side, and immediately you again are moving towards open chain. Can you feel how much work there is required around your center to keep your balance? And then bring your arm and your knee all the way in. Stay here for a moment. Right arm extends, coming into a thread the needle to the other side. Settle yourself here for a moment. And then if you choose, you can stretch the left arm all the way forward and overhead. Keep breathing. Notice the stretch and release around the right side of the neck. How does it feel in comparison to the first side? And then bringing that left hand in, press all the way up, stretching the right arm out to the side, and hold it here for a moment, bringing your awareness to that open chain work through the upper body. And then when you're ready, if you're ready, pick up that left leg to the side. Finding your balance, noticing that constant shift and connection and readjustment through your center. And then bringing the arm and the knee all the way in. Let's do one cat stretch, rounding your spine up. Start to move your hips back towards your heels. Stay here for a moment. There should be very little pressure on your wrists. It should feel like a bit of a release for your hands. And if you want to, you can add your little trampolining, that gentle pulsing, feeling your breath. One more. And come all the way forward. Lengthen your spine. And then just allow yourself to sit back. Move your hips over to the left side. Bringing your ankles over to the right. Hold on. Get yourself in a comfortable seat. And let's do one side stretch. Turning your head to look down. And we're going to stay here as you continue letting your arm come down across your body and draw a nice big circle out, up, and around. 2 more times. Nice big circle. Notice how when your arm comes down that it releases the tension of the stretch. When it comes up, you can feel the increased stretch and release, come all the way up. Put that left hand a little bit behind you on the floor for support. Put your right hand to your left knee, grow tall, and moving into an open twist. Nothing crazy, just gentle look over the left shoulder, opening up across the heart, finding the length through the spine. And then on your next breath, bring yourself back to the front, swing your feet around to the other side. Find a comfortable seat, hold on to that ankle on the left, right arm comes up and over, and then stay there for a moment, turn your head so you're going to look down, that's to release your neck, and then allow your arm to continue in a big circle. And feeling that circle in front of your body, keep breathing, and as your arm comes up, feel that lengthening of the stretch, and then feel the softening and the release as your arm travels down. One more time, breathing in, and exhale, release, moving your hand just a little bit behind you, left hand to right knee, grow tall, and then coming into a little bit of an open twist. Use your hands to help you prop your spine. There should be no strain here. Almost just a guiding into that twist. And release. And then bringing your legs all the way out. Bend your knees and come towards the front of your mats. So hands out in front of you. Grow your spine tall. Exhale, coming into a half roll back. Feeling the abdominals connect. No strain in the back. And then forward you come. And lift up nice and tall. And again, draw the tail underneath you. Flattening the abdominals. And forward you come. And lifting tall. We're going to do 2 more. Half roll back. Figure out your range. And come forward. It's about engaging the muscles as opposed to straining anything. Rolling partway back, and see if you can stay here just for a moment. Can you now pick up one knee and bringing the thigh a little closer towards your chest, and then place that foot down. See if you can pick up the other knee. And the trick is to keep everything else on your body nice and still. So, as you pick up one leg, we're moving towards open chain. Abdominals connecting. One more time, picking up one leg, moving towards open chain, and take the leg down. Stay there for the breath in, and now down onto your backs. Let your hands go straight up towards the ceiling and just pause there for a moment. So bring your pelvis closer to your feet or feet closer to your pelvis. Take a moment to feel your feet connect to the ground. Feel the weight of your sacrum and your pelvis. Feel the back of your ribs. And then create a little bit of length along the back of your neck, and then feel the back of your head resting on the ground. Starting with arm scissors. Taking one arm overhead as the other arm comes forward. And checking for yourself that you're keeping the elbows straight. So if your shoulders are tight, one of the common things that we do is bend the elbows so that we feel we've got a bigger range. It doesn't matter if it's a small range, but let's keep it precise. Straighten the elbows, and then double check for yourself that you have your ribs closed at the front. And then with the movement of the arms, feel your scapula gliding on the back of your ribs. Keep breathing. Such a simple movement, but one of the best ways to connect and warm up the shoulder girdle. Keep the neck relaxed. Taking one more and bringing the hands up. Bend your elbows, place your hands just on the side of your pelvic bones here. Find stability through the pelvis and the lumbar spine. If your lower back feels tight, then maybe you want to go into a little bit of an imprint, but wherever you are, stabilize. On your breath, pick up the right knee, hold it there, and then place it down again. Nothing moving through the pelvis and the lumbar spine. Left leg, pick it up, hold it, and then place it down with control. We're going to do that one more time on each side. So, very simple exercise, but a surprising amount of work through the torso to be able to disassociate the leg from the pelvis and the lumbar spine. Your breathing is going to help you, so connect into your breath and release. Now we're going to do a little add-on. Pick up your right leg, stay here. Now pick up your left leg to join it. This is open chain. Now place your right foot to the ground again. And now your left leg joins it. Now let's start on the opposite side. Pick up your left leg first. Stay there. Pick up your right leg. There's your open chain position. Is your back okay? Put your left leg down. And place your right leg down. Now we're going to go back into open chain. Decide which leg you want to pick up first. And then just observe on your own body, which one did you pick up first? Because that'll be your dominant side then. And then pick up the other leg. There's your open chain. Now we're going to give you a little challenge. Bring your hands up. Everything is open chain. Legs and arms lifted. Can you tap the right toes to the ground? Pick it up. Tap the left toes to the ground. And now keep going. If this is feeling super duper comfortable for you, then why don't you jog the legs in the air? Guys, the hip flexor muscles that you are working right now attach to your lumbar spine. So if you don't get a strong connection into your deep abdominal muscles, you might end up feeling this pull in your lower back. So if that's happening, go into a slight tilt of the hips, or maybe even bring the knees closer to the chest like this. If it's not pulling in your lower back, then challenge yourself by holding neutral as much as possible. Taking two more, one more, both legs up in the air, hug them in towards you, and just do a little bit of a rocking from side to side. Nicely done. So, center yourself, one hand on top of each knee, and let's just go into a little bit of a circling action of the legs. So this is called stirring the clouds. Mobilizing into the hips, and then reverse direction, go the other way. And coming back to the center. Take a moment to slip your hands just behind your thighs, flexing your feet, and on your breath out, extend both legs up as straight as you can manage with your flexibility, and then bend the knees and releasing them in. And again, exhale, and we extend, and bend. And let's take 2 more. Reaching up through the heels and release. Take 1 more time. Now we're going to keep the legs stretched. Tuck your chin in. Use your arms to help yourself as you round your spine forward as if you're going to touch your head to your knees. And then just let your body go all the way back. Keep your legs where they are. Tuck your chin. Draw your head towards your knees. Help yourself with your arms. And releasing slowly back. We're going to do 1 more time. Tuck chin, curl forward. This is the most wonderful release for the whole back line of the body. Lower head and shoulders. And then bring your knees to a tabletop position. Squeeze your knees together. Bringing your hands just up towards the sky. Start to draw little circles with your arms, tiny little circles. So again, legs are lifted, arms are lifted. This is open chain position. And with those tiny little arm circles, just notice how it gets you to switch on your core again. Change direction, go the other way. So it doesn't even have to be a big movement. As soon as we no longer have our feet and arms supported on the floor, it's a little bit more challenging already. And then hold it. Interlock your fingers. Pop your hands underneath your head so you have some support for your head. Elbows just a little bit in the corner of your eyes, so it's a hammock that is supporting you. Now stay here for a moment. Are you okay with where your lower back is? If your lower back is straining with your legs lifted, then why don't you bring your knees tighter to your chest to release the back and go into a posterior tilt? Otherwise, bring your legs to 90. Nod your chin. Breathe out as you slide the ribs forward, chest lift. And releasing it back. Breathing out, chest lift. Squeeze the inner thighs and release. And again, feel the upper abdominals working on the way up and controlling the movement on the way down. We've got 2 more. And release. We've got 1 more time. I'm going to ask you to stay up here this time. See if you can start stretching one leg forward. How far can you take it? Because as you stretch that leg away, you are loading the abdominals even more, and then bring that knee in. How about the other leg? As you stretch it away, at what point do you feel that you need to stop? And bring it back in. Elbows open, chest lifted, stretching one leg away. And bring it in 1 more time, stretching away. And bring it in, put your hands on your knees, hug them in, and relaxing all the way down. Just turn your head to one side. And then turn your head to the other side. And bring your head back to the center. Now, from this position, just cross your right thigh over your left thigh. And let's go into a little bit of a piriformis stretch. So with the right thigh closest to the chest, you should be feeling the stretch into the deep right bum cheek, that piriformis muscle. As much as possible, get your head and shoulders relaxed. So guys, if you need to put a pillow underneath your head, then by all means, put a pillow there. Give yourself the support. And when you're ready, uncross. And then left thigh goes on top. Grab onto whatever you can. Maybe you just need to hold on to the top leg. Keep breathing, and now you should be getting the stretch into the deep left gluteal piriformis. Chest open. Head relaxed. Taking one more breath in and out. And then release, uncross, and hug both knees in towards you. Now again, we're going to keep the legs lifted in the air, bringing them up to tabletop, or again, if your lower back doesn't like this, bringing them in slightly. Bring your hands just into a low V with the palms down, so you can really use your upper body for support. Glue the ankles and the feet. Start rolling your knees towards the right. Now your left hip is going to lift up, and you're keeping your knees and your feet glued together, stacked, and then exhale to bring it back to the center. Now taking your legs to the left, letting your right hip lift up. Make sure that your whole lower body is traveling as one unit, so you're not leaving your feet behind. Taking your legs to the right. Double check, guys, that you've got your left shoulder anchored. And draw back to the center using abdominals. Over towards the left. Using your breath out as you come to the center. Now stay here for a moment. If you want, keep your hands on the floor. Otherwise, how about you bring your hands up? Open chain. Rolling your knees over towards the right. Guys, can you feel if you go too fast, you're going to fall over. Exhale, come back to the center. And over towards the left. So in this kind of instance, it's not about how far you can go. It's about containing the movement a little bit more and finding that control, because you don't have the support of your arms. Knees to the right. Exhale, guys. Remember, you can hug your knees closer to your chest or put your hands down if you need. Taking your knees over to the left. Come back to the center. Pause. Put your hands to the floor. Put one foot down. Place the other foot down. And then separate your knees and your feet just so that they're hip distance apart. And now we're going to go up into a pelvic curl. On your own time, tilting your hips, rolling up, and after holding your legs in the air that whole time, can you feel what a wonderful release it is now for those hip flexor muscles? Just enjoy that stretch at the top, wake up your gluteus maximus, and then let's work our way down through the spine. And release at the bottom. Feel free to move the position of your hands and feet if you need. And let's go again. Tilting hips. Rolling up. Getting that lovely lift from the base of the pelvis. So double check for yourself that you're not taking any workload or strain into the lower back. If you are, you probably need to bring your hips down a bit. Roll down through the spine, softening from the back of the throat, over the chest, over the belly, and the pelvis releases at the bottom. We're going to do one more time. Tilting hips, rolling up, getting that lift from the base of the pelvis. Now stay here. Placing your hands lightly onto your bum cheeks. You're going to feel that they're working. Don't hold yourself up. Start to put some weight on the right foot. Double check that the right bum is working and that the abdominals are connected. Can you put a bit more load on that right leg? And then just see if you can hover the left leg. It doesn't have to be a big lift, but we're moving towards single chain, single leg bridge, open chain. And then placing that foot down, level yourself out. Put a little bit of pressure onto the left leg. Can you feel the gluteals? Abdominals are connected. And then put a little bit more weight on that left leg and see if you can just hover the right leg. Abs are connected. I sincerely hope that you're breathing. And placing that foot down. Stay there for a moment, let your hands come down and work your way through your spine and release at the bottom. Was everyone okay? Because we're going to do a little add-on to that. I'll give you some options as we go. Take a breath, tilting the hips, rolling up through the spine, coming up into your bridge position. Now, you can repeat what we just did if you choose. Start to put a bit of pressure onto the right foot. You might be touching your bum cheeks, that's fine. And see if you can hover the left leg. Now stay there, and can you pick up the right arm? Moving towards a little bit more open chain. Bring the arm and the foot down at the same time. Stay there, put a little bit of pressure on the left leg, and see if you can hover the right leg. It doesn't have to come up high. Wake up your left bum. Are you able to pick up the left arm? Hold it there. And then placing the arm and the leg down at the same time. Now this time, pick up the left leg and the right arm at the same time. So connect to your center and placing them down. And now pick up the right leg and the left arm at the same time. And placing them down. Stay here, give an extra little squeeze with the bottom cheeks. And you get to ripple down through the spine. And release. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape, rounding the spine, feeling almost like you're getting a stretcher on your kidneys maybe. And then move your hands behind your thighs, keeping yourself tucked into a little ball. Start kicking your legs. Using your legs to create some momentum for the rolling. And then come up to balance and stay here. Bring your hands out. You're just going to hold them in the air and close your eyes. No feet on the ground, no hands on the ground, no eyesight to help you focus on the external surroundings. Simply turning your gaze inwards, connecting into your breath. Noticing that constant shift and adjustment to help you keep your balance. Taking one more breath in and out. And then exhale, open your eyes, and you can place your feet all the way to the ground. Good. So now, turn onto your stomach. And we're going to go into a little bit of back extension work. So have your legs just slightly apart today. Make sure that you are engaging the gluteals, but without gripping, because you don't want to tense up your lumbar spine. And then bend your elbows so your hands are on either side of you. So I take my hands quite wide because I feel it relaxes my neck and shoulders. If you want to bring your arms in closer, by all means, but don't let your neck hunch up. Hover the tip of your nose. And then before you go anywhere, get the sensation of lengthening your spine and feeling that your breastbone is reaching away from the heels of your feet. We're going to inhale to come into a baby cobra. And we're going to exhale to lower down and hover the tip of the nose. And again, we're going to inhale, lifting up through the heart. And exhale, release down. And again, inhale, lifting the heart, keeping the two little bottom ribs connected. And exhale, release. And now just one more time. Inhale to lift up and exhale to stay. Anchor the pelvis and anchor the legs. Can you hover the right arm just up off the ground without letting the shoulders twist or rotate? And then place that right hand down. Can you pick up your left hand, hover it, and placing it down, anchor your pelvis, and see now if you can pick up both arms. So again, we're moving towards open chain, and release, and then lower the head and shoulders all the way down. Turn your head to one side, relax for a moment, and rock your pelvis side to side. And then come back to the center, turning the tip of your nose down, just engaging into the gluteals, lengthening through the spine. We're going to add on. Inhale as you come up into a baby cobra, and exhale, stay here for a moment. Feel the abdominals connecting gently. Inhale to squeeze your quadriceps so that the knees are straight. And exhale to lift the legs just up off the ground. Holding it here. Can you hover the right arm? Bring it down. Can you hover the left arm? Bring it down. How about both arms? No limbs on the floor to support you. Find the back extensors, find the back line of the body. Taking one more breath in. And exhale, everything comes down. We're going to do that one more time. Start by coming up into a baby cobra. And you don't have to come up very high, by the way. Squeeze your quadriceps. And then lift your legs just up off the ground. Keep sending your breastbone forward. And now see if you can pick up the left arm. And place it down. Right arm. And now both arms. Beautiful work, guys. Take a little breath. And everything releases. Place your hands under your shoulders, press all the way up, and then sit yourself back into your resting position, giving yourself support wherever you need. And just see if you can bring the hands forward. It doesn't matter if the elbows are off the ground or not. It doesn't matter if your hands are further apart or closer together, as long as it feels okay for your shoulders. And feeling that stretch and release along your back muscles that have just been working. Taking just a few more breaths in and out. And then start to walk your hands a little bit closer towards your knees. Come up a little bit off your feet so that you can bring your knees into a parallel place. Tuck your toes under, and then pushing into your hands, see if you can roll back over your feet and just round your spine in this position here. If this isn't okay for your knees, then just bring your hips up so that there's less pressure on the knee joints. Start to walk your hands closer to your feet, and you can go onto the tips of your fingers perhaps. Start pushing into your hands as you lift your hips up and getting your feet flat onto the ground. Stay here for a moment. Maybe you want to straighten one knee as you bend the other. Getting a little release along the back of the body. And then let your knees soften, holding one elbow with each hand. Just letting your arms hang heavy and frame your head for a moment. Maybe you want to do a little bit of a sway from side to side. And then releasing your elbows. Soften your knees and start rolling yourself up, pressing into your feet. Take your time as you come upright, rolling the shoulders back and around. Focus your gaze. Take a look down, double check that your feet are in line. Maybe you want to open them slightly so you feel a little bit more stable on your base. And then just as we started, let your eyes close for a moment. And feeling the connections in your body. Feeling the connection to your center, to your core, and your midline. Taking a moment to notice your energy. And if you could describe how your energy feels right now with one word, what would it be? Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth inside. Blink your eyes open. And we take one deep breath in, reaching all the way up. Connecting one hand to the other. And exhale, open your arms wide across the chest. Create a little bit of space for yourself for the rest of the day. And then give your hands a little shake. Give your ankles and your feet a little bit of a shake. Nicely done, guys. Let me just turn on the audio.